Mississippi Secession Convention, a declaration of the immediate causes which induce and justify the secession of the state of Mississippi from the federal union. January 26, 1861. January 26, 1861. So Mississippi seceded January 9th, and then they're going to come back around and give its declaration. Copies of South Carolina's title is even more forthright as to why it quits the union are positive. Our position is thoroughly identified with the institution of slavery. Mississippi's declaration consists mostly of a series of it statements parallel to the he statements referring to King George in the U.S. Declaration of Independence. It here refers to the hostility to slavery. Like South Carolina, Mississippi complains that most northern states have nullified the Fugitive Slave Act. Mississippi is also outraged by abolitionist preaching and publications and by John Brown's raid. Paradoxically, the state attacks it for advocating Negro equality while not seeking to elevate or to support the slave. So we're going to look into the matters. People, neo-Confederates say it had nothing to do with slavery. It had nothing to do with race. It's about states' rights. So, okay, let's read what the Mississippi Secession Convention, this is the reasons that Mississippi itself, the state of Mississippi itself, said why they seceded. They were the second state, right? South Carolina, then Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, somewhere. They're the top four. So these motherfuckers, once they seceded, then it kind of fucking, the snowball effect. It was a snowball effect. It was the domino effect. It made it easier for the other states to go ahead and quit America. You can't quit America. You want to quit America? So here we go. All right, Mississippi, you want to quit America? You want to quit the United States of America? You better have some good fucking reasons. Let's hear it. Go ahead, Mississippi. What say ye? In the momentous step which our state has taken of dissolving its connection with the government of which we so long formed a part, it is but just that we should declare the prominent reasons which have induced our course. Our position is thoroughly identified with the institution of slavery. The greatest material interest of the world, its labor supplies the product which constitutes by far the largest and most important portions of the commerce of the earth. These products are peculiar to the climate verging on the tropical regions, and by an imperious law of nature, none but the black race can bear exposure to the tropical sun. These products have become necessities of the world, and a blow at slavery is a blow at commerce and civilization. Nothing to do with slavery, huh? That blow has been long aimed at the institution and was at the point of reaching its consummation. It's about tariffs, right? It's all about the tariffs. There was no choice left us but submission to the mandates of abolition or a dissolution of the Union, whose principles have been subverted to work out our ruin. That we do not overstate the dangers to our institution, slavery, a reference to a few facts will sufficiently prove. The hostility to this institution commenced before the adoption of the Constitution was manifested in the well-known Ordinance of 1787 in regard to the Northwestern Territory. So they're saying that George Washington wasn't going to allow slavery to be exported to the Northwestern Territory. He was being imperialist. He killed a lot of Native Americans in the Northwestern Territory, but he's saying that slavery wasn't allowed to expand. That's interesting. The Ordinance of 1787, that's also before the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights was written, right? 1789 Constitution. So that was under the Articles of Confederation. The feeling increased until 1819 to 20. Well, that's like 50 years later, motherfucker. 30 years later. That's like me bitching about, well, first it started off with JFK. Yep. That happened 20 years before I was born, but you don't know how that affected me. Okay, 1819 to 20. What happened in the War of 1812? It deprived the South of more than half the vast territory acquired from France. Why did it do that? The same hostility dismembered Texas and seized upon, they're talking about the Missouri Compromise of 1820. The same hostility dismembered Texas, seized upon all the territory acquired from Mexico. It has grown until it denies the right of property in slaves. What, you're going to say that this black man isn't my property? You're going to say this black man isn't like a goat or a desk or a pen? Are you going to say that this is not just a living, breathing creature, but you're going to say he's a human being? Homo sapien? You're going to say he is just like you and me? Yes, you stupid motherfucker. And refuses protection to that right on the high seas, in the territories, and wherever the government of the United States had jurisdiction. It refuses the admission of new slave states into the Union and seeks to extinguish it by confining it within its present limits, denying the power of expansion. It tramples the original equality of the South underfoot. It has nullified the fugitive slave law in almost every free state in the Union and has utterly broken the compact which our fathers pledged their faith to maintain. It advocates Negro equality socially and politically, and promotes insurrection and incendiarism in our midst. It has enlisted in its press, its pulpit, and its schools against us, until the whole popular mind of the North is excited and inflamed with prejudice. Prejudice. You're being racist against our institution of slavery. Slavery was a white totalitarian dictatorship. Even the poor white could feel like they was better than somebody because that poor black man had to get flogged and beat up, and if he ran away, then he'd have to be, captured and drugged back and then go back to being a slave to be, So the whole goddamn society, every single white fucking person that sort of, if you didn't say nothing about it or, just it didn't bother you, it was a fucking sick, psychotic society. A white totalitarian dictatorship. A white supremacist totalitarian dictatorship. Sometimes they talked about, Washington would talk about Constitution. So it's just crazy, right? For the whites, you got 3 branches of government to fight against tyranny, and you got a Bill of Rights to fight against tyranny, and you got a Constitution to fight against tyranny. So you're not a slave, while at the same time maintaining slavery. So the question of the Civil War, is the black man a man? Yes, he is. He was then, he is now. Shut the fuck up. How the fuck are we still talking about this shit? Fucking white supremacists are insecure. You're an insecure, stupid, dumb fucking. You're jealous of their bodies, and you're not strong enough, and so you're freaking your fuck. Just go exercise, motherfucker. Stretch a little bit, motherfucker. Jesus Christ. We're all from Africa, so you got the same bloodlines. And just work out. It's not like I do think the black man white is a mutated albino, so black man does have superior genetics. Black man does have superior genetics. But the differences are nominal. Just work out, okay? Just work out a little bit. You'll be able to run farther or shoot farther or something. You'll be able to do something more than the black man. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. If not, just be humble. But I'm sure for your neighbor, you could find something that, and if not, like I said, be humble. Be humble. But every man can't win every contest. Every man can't win. I was thinking golf, maybe. No, not even golf. Whatever. Then play with somebody superior to you, so that way you get better yourself, and just stay humble for the rest of your life. That's how you get better. It's like, man, he's good. Why is he good? Well, he balls with the brothers. That's why he's so good. He balls with the brothers. It refuses the admission of new slave states into the Union. It seeks to extinguish it. Slavery. By confining it within its present limits, denying the power of expansion, it tramples the original equality of the South underfoot. It's nullified the fugitive slave law in almost every free state in the Union and utterly broke the compact which our fathers pledged their faith to maintain. It advocates Negro equality socially and politically, and promotes insurrection and incendiarism in our midst. It has enlisted its press, its pulpit, its schools against us, until the whole popular mind of the North is excited and inflamed with prejudice. It has made combinations and formed associations to carry out its schemes of emancipation in the states and wherever else slavery exists. It seeks not to elevate or to support the slave, but to destroy his present condition without providing a better. It has invaded a state and invested with the honors of martyrdom the wretch whose purpose was to apply flames to our dwellings and the weapons of destruction to our lives. It has broken every compact into which it has entered for our security. It has given indubitable evidence of its design to ruin our agriculture, to prostrate our industrious pursuits, and to destroy our social system. It knows no relenting or hesitation in its purposes. It stops not in its march of aggression. This sounds like slavery. They keep saying they're talking about the attack on slavery, but they're making it the march of slavery and the march of slaves and the march of the racists. It just keeps going and going and going. Yeah, the heart of a racist piece of shit. They hate, in order to get their love, you have to hate what they hate. And if you don't hate what they hate, I mean, that was a white supremacist really hated the black man, but you know who the white supremacist really hated? The white man who thought the black man was a man. Because the white man who thought the black man was a man was somebody that looked like them, but come to a different conclusion. So if anything, by his very existence, he mocked every fucking thing that they purported to represent, which was nothing. Wickedness. They're a peculiar institution. No, you're a wicked, evil piece of shit. Given indubitable evidence designed to ruin our agriculture, to prostrate our industrial pursuits, destroy our soul. Why don't you raise your own rice? Raise your own tobacco. Raise your own indigo. Rice, tobacco, cotton. Pick your own fucking cotton. What else? There's one more. Rice, cotton, tobacco, corn? I don't know. Tomatoes? No. Sugar. It knows no relenting or hesitation in its purpose. It stops not in its march of aggression, leaves us no hope for cessation or for pause. It has recently obtained control of the government by the prosecution of its unhallowed schemes, destroyed the last expectation of living together in friendship and brotherhood. Utter subjugation awaits us in the Union. If we should consent longer to remain in it, it is not a matter of choice, but of necessity. We must either submit to degradation into the loss of property worth $4 billion of money, or we must secede from the Union framed by our fathers to secure this as well as every other species of property for far less cause than this. Our fathers separated from the crown of England. Our decision is made. We follow their footsteps. We embrace the alternative of separation. For the reasons here stated, we resolve to maintain our rights with the full consciousness of the justice of our course and the undoubting belief of our ability to maintain it. Wow, that got exciting there at the end, didn't it? But what an evil motherfucking design. I mean, that was written by wicked motherfuckers and then voted on by wicked motherfuckers. So, democracy can run askew. January 26, 1861. January 26, 1861. Florida, Alabama. Let's see what their reasons are. Coming up next.